Hi everybody and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. This post is from the subreddit entitled Parents and it's by user JustARN. My family is effed up beyond all recognition, beyond comprehension, and it all goes back to my sister. My sister is the cliche of the spoiled rich Beverly Hills brat, just not in Beverly Hills. What she wants, she gets, and she will do whatever she has to do to get it without having to work for it. She has made it clear to me that she is the chosen one and I'm nothing. My mentality through this is that I don't care. I'm good with my life. I have my degree and career. I have had prior conversations with my mom regarding this, and she seemed to take into consideration what I was saying, and I think she was starting to work to try and fix some of the issues that my sister had. When it comes to my parents, really my family, I don't actively seek any of them out. I talk to my parents once a month, if I'm lucky. I let them call, and usually one parent relays any necessary information back to the other. We also live almost 3 hours from each other, so that's another reason why we don't talk. However, it seems the issues that my parents have created with my sister have gone one step further and are worse than they could ever be. At least, they're bad enough for my mother to drive 3 hours to visit me. Imagine my surprise to open the door to my house and see my mom on the other side. Into the conversation, she told me that she heard what I said about my sister being useless, and she was trying to slowly fix the problem. She thought she was making headway until she found out her husband, my dad, bought her a condo and was covering all her expenses. I asked her why this mattered to me. I reminded her that I was just an issue that had to be dealt with. I reminded her that there was nothing that I could do to help them or fix the problem they created. For the first time in my life, my mom acknowledged this and acknowledged the way I was treated. While she didn't really apologize, she did say that I was treated pretty badly. She told me she was telling me this because it needed to get out in the open somewhere. I had to ask my mom some really hard questions. Mostly because I'm trying in my own way to understand some of this. My parents' marriage for the last few years has mostly been like roommates. Divorce for them is out of the question because of how complicated their finances and estate is. If they were to divorce, it would be friendly. They really don't love each other like they should. They love each other as friends, but the marriage love is gone. With that being said, I asked my mom the question, have you or dad been sleeping around with anyone? She immediately responded that she was not, and she truly felt that dad wasn't. I asked her if my sister had something that she was holding over dad's head. She asked what that could be. I asked her if maybe my sister was blackmailing dad with something to get what she wants, or she would go public. I told her that up to this point, she has had the normal spoiled kid things: car, credit cards, vacation, and trips. All of which she, mom, was also in on. But this purchase was more than any spoiled child could ever in their life have. I reminded her that when I was 18, I was told that I was on my own and had to figure out life. That my sister at 25 still has no idea how to be an adult. And it makes me wonder what they are not telling me or what secrets they are keeping for my sister to have this much power over them. Again, my mom said that in her heart of hearts that this isn't the case, that they just messed up pretty bad raising her. If this were an Am I the A-hole post, this is where I would be an a-hole. I asked my mom what she expected me to do about this. What did she think she was going to gain by telling me all this, and what she thinks I can do about it? She told me that she knows I can't do anything about it. She acknowledged that there isn't anything that I can do about this, that again, she needs to just get this out in the open. I asked her if she confronted Dad on this, and she said that his excuse was that he was trying to help get her out of the house and that this was the only way he felt he could. He said that retirement for both of them is on the horizon and that they would make the money back once they liquidated and downsized. I told her that from their standpoint it would make sense, but Dad forgot one main big issue, which is that she can't maintain herself. Mom said that she knew this was an issue and that she was trying to work with my sister about it. Apparently, she sat my sister down and told her that she needs to work at figuring out her future and was trying to encourage her to get her real estate license and go into the family business. By this point, I'm pissed and I don't even know why. I told my mom that I don't want to know anything and that I just want to be done with this whole conversation. I told my mom that it makes no sense for her to tell me any of this. I offered to let her sleep in one of my guest rooms. She said that was okay, but she had reservations for a hotel. She left, I went to bed angry, and this morning I had my aha moment. I can't do anything about it, and there is nothing I want to do about it. This literally doesn't even concern me. All I can do is let it go one ear and out the other. I have nothing to offer, and even if I did, I'm pretty sure that I wouldn't. I'm not here for sympathy or advice. Comment if you would like. I guess, just like my mom, I need to get this out in the open so it doesn't have to sit with me anymore. Well, OP, it already sounds to me that you're very low contact with your family, and apparently you don't want any contact at all, so why keep it up? I mean, you're not the one to reach out, and whenever they want to talk to you, it's about something that you clearly don't care about, and I don't blame you. If my parents would have treated me like a problem that just needed to be dealt with or something like that, I'd be pretty done with them too. You've already told your parents that they did a really crappy job raising your sister and that the monster they created is their problem. Your mom seems to acknowledge that, your dad is apparently just an idiot. But as you say, there's nothing you can do about it, and why would you want to help them out anyway? So if, like you said, this wasn't Am I the A-hole post, I would judge you to be not the a-hole. Your mom included you in the conversation, you told her exactly what you felt and how much you didn't care about this, and that's it. And what do you guys think about OP's situation? Even though he didn't ask for it, what is your judgment? Let me know in the comment section, and now let's check out the community comments. Alvin Alhurt says, my sister is not as bad as your sister. She at least flirts with the idea of having a job. But I remember one time in particular, my parents decided to build their dream house. Sister up and decided to quit her job in another state and move in with them. No prior discussion, she just did it. Sister is bossy like that, and she tried to boss my mom around about how to set up or decorate the new house. My dad paid for a house to be built in a town half-hour away. Of course, then he ended up paying her living expenses most of the time because she keeps quitting jobs. And OP responds, she made a comment a while back that the only way she would work is if she was starting out at $200,000 a year. She has no idea how to do anything. She can't use a spreadsheet, Word document, or any kind of computer program if it's not on her smartphone. According to my mom, she barely graduated high school. She can't do anything. And it's her and my parents' fault. At least my mom is trying or attempting to try and fix it. My dad is only making it worse. Babbitt5410 says, do yourself a favor and check your credit report to see if anyone is using your information. If your sister can get anything she wants out of your parents, what's to say that she didn't steal your social security number and apply for a credit under your name? And Dopey responds, this is my biggest fear and I check credit all the time. Everything is where it needs to be. And Three Hedon's mom says, your parents were and are certainly something and none of it good. They've made their bed, as has your sister. At this point, I think one more thing you can do is let your parents know they had best get your sister sorted out and supporting herself. Because if anything happens to your folks, you aren't going to be responsible for her. If she doesn't have income, can't figure out how to pay her bills or support herself, etc., then she's going to be living in a homeless shelter or under a bridge. And Opie responds, when my sister decided to tell me about how they made their will and left her everything and how they never loved me and all that good stuff, I told her blank-faced, okay. She got mad for not getting mad. I told her that if anything ever happens to mom and dad and she can't make it, that all she will ever get from me is a large refrigerator box and a pack of ramen. I told my parents the exact same thing, so they know that I will not be the one who cares for her. So even though OP wasn't asking for advice, the community fully supported OP and even gave him some things to think about. We also learned a little bit more about the sister and the parents. They absolutely suck. So now let's move on to the update to see how this story ends. I'm hoping that this is the last entry to this situation. I read each and every one of the responses and replied to a few of them. With that being said, I did what so many of you have said I needed to do. I have officially gone no contact. Again. I sent a long email to all three of them on the same email. I told them that I was done and that there is realistically no reason for me to be involved in the family and that they are to no longer contact me. I put everything out there. I told them that they have no reason or excuse to tell me any of this since I was just an issue to be dealt with. I told them that I bring no value or purpose to their lives and I don't understand why they still talk to me at this point. I also told them exactly what I thought about my sister. I didn't hold back. I told all three of them how I hated her from the pits of my soul, that she has been nothing but cruel to me and she services no purpose or brings any value to my life, and that if I never spoke to her again, I would be perfectly happy with this. I told them that if she were to pass tomorrow, that I wouldn't shed a tear and that I would most likely just piss on her grave. I told them that I didn't understand why they felt the need to constantly tell me about the problem they created, or why they feel the need to ask me how to fix the problem they created. They did this all to themselves, and while my sister didn't have to do anything, I had to do everything. I reminded them that I got a job the first chance I could when I was 15 and worked to put myself through college, and have even been working at the same hospital for the last 5 years. I got my degree and a house. She has nothing and can't do anything without their help. I reiterated that I will under no circumstances help them fix the mess that they created. I reminded my sister that when she blows through the estate and has nothing to live on, that I will under no circumstances help her and that she will never be welcome on my property. I did, however, take it one step further. I don't know what the current status of my parents' relationship is, but I don't think it's in that great of shape. For as long as I can remember, they have talked about retirement, travel, and hanging out with the grandkids. Here's the kicker. I'm gay, so they're not getting any grandkids from me. Even if I were to adopt, they would never accept my children because it's not the bloodline. So, my sister is their only hope for any grandchildren, and I told them this. You have always talked about retirement and grandkids. You do realize that I'm gay and have no chance of achieving this. With that being said, your only hope for grandkids is my sister. Let me know how that goes. While we do not come from any kind of culture that recognizes arranged marriage, now that I have put this in my parents' head, I can almost assure you that they are going to have to find a way for my sister to provide them with this. I'm certain that she will one way or another be set up. Anyway, I sent the email, I attached red receipts, and when I got all 3 receipts back, I blocked them all. I have blocked them on all social media platforms and their phone numbers. The only way for them to get in contact with me is to show up at my house. I can't see that happening, and if they do, I will have them removed. Many of you have wondered why I kept in contact with them. The truth is, I have gone no contact with them many times. They always find a way to weasel their way back into my life. And for a while, it wasn't that bad and it was tolerable. But now that they have upped the ante, it's time to take a different approach. This was what led me to send the email. I didn't wait for them to respond. I have no reason to look for any kind of a response, and I truly don't want to hear from them. At some point or another, I need some kind of peace in my life, and I'll never get it with them. Thank you all. Well, it'll be good for you for doing what you needed to do for your peace of mind. You told them what you needed to get off your chest, you waited for acknowledgement that they had received your message, and now they're blocked. So here's wishing you the best in the future. Take care and thanks for sharing. Now let's move on to the next post that also has an update. This post is from the subreddit Am I the A-hole, and it's by user ThrowawayH9109. Would I be the a-hole if I don't tell my new girlfriend I slept with her sister before we met? So, I have a new girlfriend, been together 6 months. She recently went on vacation with her family, and when she got back, she showed me some pictures they took, and I recognized her sister. You see, her sister and I used to be friends with benefits back in college. It was nothing serious, and it didn't even last long, like less than 3 months. This happened about 2 years ago. I didn't know this was her sister because I never knew what her sister's last name was. Now, here's the part where I'm feeling a bit conflicted. She has a male friend who's made me a bit uncomfortable with how close he is to my girlfriend, and he's a bit of an F-boy. I tried to talk to my girlfriend about it and ask if she ever fooled around with him. It wasn't a deal breaker, but I still wanted to know. She said, "The past is the past. I'm not gonna tell you what I did before, and I don't want to know what you did before me." So I'm feeling a bit conflicted because of this. I feel like I should tell her because I'm sure the sister would tell her either way, but this may be the petty part of me talking. She said she doesn't want to know, and the past is the past, right? Well, Opie, logically speaking, your petty part is absolutely right. She specifically said that the past was in the past, that she didn't want to know what you did or anything like that. All of this coming from your curiosity about her friend. Now, I could be wrong and I'm just assuming here, but the way she defended herself makes me think that she did in fact fool around with him. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but then why wouldn't she just tell you? But again, I could be absolutely wrong. Now back to you. I am pretty sure also that if you don't tell her that you had been friends with benefits with her sister, and the sister tells her that this is going to get thrown in your face, and if you use the line, "You told me not to tell you anything because the past was in the past," I would think that's just gonna make it blow up even bigger. Because, and I'm just spitballing here, it's a different thing. This is my sister, that's a friend. And again, I could be absolutely wrong, but after reading so many Reddit stories, it wouldn't surprise me. And what do you guys think OP should do? Let me know in the comment section, and now let's check out the community comments. Panachi19 says, quote, "I know that you said you don't want to know, but hypothetically, if I had hooked up with your sister in the past, would you still not want to know?" End quote. If she wants the deets, then demand she answers your questions before you give them to her. And OP responds, "Maybe, but I think my girlfriend would demand an answer as to why I'm asking this." But by Bear712 says, "No a-holes here, but you're gonna be damned if you do, damned if you don't. She specifically said she didn't wanna know, so I wouldn't tell her. When she finds out and gets upset, explain she specifically said she didn't want to know. Explain how you had no idea she was her sister until months after she told you she did not want to know about your past since she didn't want to share hers. But you need to get over her being close with that guy. If you can't and it's a deal breaker, just tell her now and break up with her." Pair Revolutionary 216 says, "Yes, in my opinion, but maybe not to her. What she said about the past and not telling you anything is low-key toxic, lol, unless you're not looking for a serious relationship. The past is in the past, but people should still be open to sharing and accepting each other. Starting a relationship off with secrets is never good." And Reddit Teddy Tread says, "Tell her, I effed someone in that picture. Do you still not want to know about our pasts?" So the community was between not the a-hole, no a-holes here, but most of them were saying that this relationship was absolutely doomed. So now let's move on to the update to see how this story ends. Things did not go well when I tried to tell her. I asked her if she remembered what she told me about past sexual experiences, and she got mad at me. She said, "I already told you, the past doesn't matter." I tried to tell her that this was really important, and she told me that she promised herself she wasn't gonna be with someone who's insecure about who she slept with or her body count. She told me that I needed to grow up, so I just blurted out, "I slept with your sister." After some silence, I explained everything and how this was before we met. She took it not that good. We had a long talk about how comfortable she would feel. What would happen when I met her family? What if her parents found out? What if the rest of her family did? Could she really handle being at the altar with me in front of her and her sister next to her, knowing me and her sister slept together? She told me she just felt gross now. She told me that she didn't know if she could shake this feeling off, so she decided to break up. I don't know, this was just a mess. I'm kind of pissed off. I don't want to get back together. I mean, I didn't like the way she acted when she thought I was asking about her sexual past and how she broke up with me because of mine. I don't know, this kind of hypocrisy just rubs me the wrong way. Also, I'll be honest, at this point, I don't think my now ex is worth the effort. Well, Opie, that was an overall very crappy experience for you, but the good thing is that now you don't need to deal with it anymore. Yeah, the conversation and the breakup you had was kind of like a mess, but I'm guessing you would have had an even bigger mess had you stayed in that relationship. So at least you dodged a lot of grief. Take care, Opie, and thanks for sharing. And that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch it. Now, if you've gotten to this point in the video, I assume that you like these stories that I'm reading out, so here are a couple more that you might enjoy. And if you don't have any time to watch another story right now, save it for later, and also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.